Hello everyone. Today we will discuss chapter 7, Indian bronze sculpture. Indian sculptors had mastered the bronze medium and the casting process as much as they had mastered terracotta sculpture and carving in stone. The cire perdu or lost wax tech process for casting was learned as long ago as the Indus Valley culture. Along with it was discovered the process of making alloy of metals by mixing copper, zinc and tin, which is called bronze. Bronze sculptures and statues of Buddhist, Hindu, and Jain icons have been discovered from many regions of India, dating from the 2nd century until the 16th century. Most of these were required for ritual worship and are characterized by exquisite beauty and aesthetic appeal. At the same time, the metal casting process continued to be utilized for making articles for various purposes of daily use, such as utensils for cooking, eating, drinking, etc. Present-day tribal communities also utilize the lost wax process for their art expressions. Perhaps the dancing girl in Tribanga poster from the Mohenjo-daro. So dancing girl sculpture is found from Mohenjo-daro. Okay, dancing girl Mohenjo-daro. Okay, perhaps the dancing girl in Tribanga poster from Mohenjo-daro is the earliest bronze sculpture datable to 2500 BCE. The limbs and torso of this female figurine are simplified in tubular form. A similar group of bronze statues have been discovered on archaeological excavation at Daimabad, Maharashtra, datable to 1500 BCE. Significant is the chariot, the wheels of which are represented in simple circular shapes, while the driver or human rider has been elongated, and the bulls in the forefront are modeled in sturdy forms. Interesting images of the Jain Tirthankaras have been discovered from Chausa, Bihar, belonging to the Kushana period during the 2nd century BCE. These bronzes show how the Indian sculptors had mastered the modeling of masculine human physique and simplified muscles. Remarkable is the depiction of Adinath or Vrishabnath, who is identified with long hair locks dropping to his shoulders. Otherwise, the Tirthankaras are noted by their short curly hair. Okay, here you can see the figure of Kaliya Daman, Chola bronze, Tamil Nadu. Okay, many standing Buddha images with right hand in Abhaya Mudra were cast in North India, particularly Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, during the Gupta and post-Gupta periods, that is between the 5th, 6th, and 7th centuries. The Sangadi or the monk's robe is wrapped to cover the shoulders, which turns over the right arm, while the other end of the drapery is wrapped over the left arm. Eventually, the pleats are held by the extended hand of the same arm. The drapery falls and spreads into a wide curve at the level of angles. The Buddha's figure is modeled in a subtle manner, suggesting at the same time the thin quality of the cloth. The whole figure is treated with refinement. There is a certain delicacy in the treatment of the torso. The figure appears youthful and proportionate in comparison with the Kushana style. In the typical bronze from Daneshwar Kera, Uttar Pradesh, the folds of the drapery are treated as in the Madura style, that is, in a series of drooping down curves. Sarnath style bronzes have foldless drapery. The outstanding example is that of the Buddha image at Sultanganj, Bihar, which is quite a monumental bronze figure. The typical refined style of these bronze is the hallmark of the classical quality. Vagadaga bronze images of the Buddha from Fofnar, Maharashtra are contemporary with the Gupta period bronzes. They show the influence of the Amaravati style of Andhra Pradesh in the 3rd century CE, and at the same time there is a significant change in the draping style of the monk's robe. Buddha's right hand in Abhaya Mudra is free so that the drapery clings to the right side of the body. Condor. Okay, here you can see the figure of Shiva family, 10th century CE, Bihar. Okay, here you can see the figure of Ganesh, 7th century CE, Kashmir. Okay. The result is a continuous flowing line on this side of the figure. At the level of the angles of the Buddha figure, the drapery makes a conspicuous curvy linear turn as it is held by the left hand. The additional importance of the Gupta and Vakadaga bronzes is that they were portable and monks carried them from place to place for the purpose of individual worship or to be installed in Buddhist viharas. In this manner, the refined classical style spread to different parts of the India and to Asian countries overseas. The hoard of bronzes discovered in Akoda near Vadodara established that bronze casting was practiced in Gujarat and Western India between the 6th and 9th centuries. Most of the images represent the Jain Tirthankaras like Mahavira, Parshvanath, or Adinath. A new format was invented in which Tirthankaras are seated on a throne. They can be single or combined in a group of 3 or in a group of 24 Tirthankaras. Female images were also cast representing Yakshinis or Shasana Devis of some prominent Tirthankaras. Stylistically, they were influenced by the features of both Gupta and Vakadaga period bronzes. Chakreshwari is the Shasana Devi of Adinath and Ambika is of Neminath. Okay. The lost wax process. Here you can see the figure of Devi, Chola bronze, found at Tamil Nadu. Okay. Lost wax process. The lost wax process is a technique used for making objects of metal, especially in Himachal Pradesh, Odisha, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, and West Bengal. In each region, a slightly different technique is used. The lost wax process involves several different steps. First, a wax model of the image is made by hand of pure beeswax that has first been melted over an open fire and then strained through a fine cloth into a basin of cold water. Here it resolidifies immediately. It is then pressed through a pitchkey or furnace, which squeezes the wax into noodle-like shape. These wax wires are then wound around to the shape of the entire image. The image is now covered with a thick coating of paste made of equal parts of clay, sand, and cow dung. Into an opening on one side, a clay pot is fixed. In this molten metal is poured. The weight of the metal to be used is 10 times that of wax. The wax is weighed before starting the entire process. This metal is largely scrap metal from broken pots and pans, while the molten metal is poured in the clay pot. The clay plastered model is exposed to firing. As the wax inside metal melts, the metal flows down the channel and takes on the shape of the wax image. The firing process is carried out almost like a religious ritual, and all the steps taken take place in a dead silence. The image is later chiseled with files to smoothen it and give it a finish. Casting a bronze image is a painstaking task and demands a high degree of skill. Sometimes an alloy of 5 metals, gold, silver, copper, bronze, and lead, is used to cast bronze images. Okay. Himachal Pradesh and Kashmir regions also produced bronze images of Buddhist deities as well as Hindu gods and goddesses. Most of these were created during the 8th, 9th, and 10th centuries and have a very distinct style in comparison with bronze from the other parts of India. A noteworthy development is the growth of different types of iconography of Vishnu images. Four-headed Vishnu, also known as Chadurana or Chaduranana or Vaigunda Vishnu, was worshipped in these regions, while the central face represents Vasudeva. The other two faces are that of Narasimha and Varaha. The Narasimha avatar and Mahishasura Mardini, Durga images of Himachal Pradesh are among the very dynamic bronze from that region. Okay, here you can see the figure of Ganesh, Kashmir, 7th century CE. Okay. In Buddhist centers like Nalanda, a school of bronze casting emerged around the 9th century during the rule of Pala dynasty in Bihar and Bengal regions. In the gap of a few centuries, the sculptures at Kurkihar near Nalanda were able to revive the classical style of the Gupta period. A remarkable bronze is of a four-armed Avalokiteshvara, which is a good example of male figure in graceful Tribhanga posture. Worship of female goddesses was adopted, which is a part of the growth of Vajrayana phase in Buddhism. Images of Tara became very popular. Seated on a throne, she is accompanied by a growing curvilinear lotus stalk, and her right hand is in Abhaya Mudra. Okay, here you can see the figure of bronze sculpture found at Himachal Pradesh. Okay. The bronze casting technique and making of bronze images of traditional icons reached a high stage of development in South India during the medieval period. Although bronze images were modeled and cast during the Pallava period in the 8th and 9th centuries, some of the most beautiful and exquisite statues were produced during the Chola period in Tamil Nadu from the 10th to the 12th century. The techniques and art of fashioning bronze images is still skillfully practiced in South India, particularly in Kumbakonam. The distinguished patron during the 10th century was widowed Chola queen Sembian Mahadevi. Okay. Chola bronzes are the most sought after collectors items by art lovers all over the world. Here you can see the Nataraja Vigraha, Chola period, 12th century CE. Okay. Among the Pallava period's bronzes of the 8th century is the icon of Shiva seated in Ardha Paryanga Asana, one leg kept dangling. The right hand is in the Achamana Mudra gesture, suggesting that he is about to drink poison. Okay. The well-known dancing figure of Shiva as Nataraja was evolved and fully developed during the Chola period, and since then many variations of this complex bronze image have been modeled. Okay. Nataraja. Shiva is associated with the end of the cosmic world, with which this dancing position is associated. In this Chola period bronze sculpture, he has been shown balancing himself on his right leg and suppressing the Abhasmara, the demon of ignorance or forgetfulness, with the foot of the same leg. At the same time, he raises his left leg in Bhujangatra Siddha stance, which represents Tirobhava, that is, kicking away the veil of Maya or illusion from the devotee's mind. His forearms are outstretched and the main right hand is posed in Abhaya Hasta, or the gesture suggesting the upper right holds the Damaru, his favorite musical instrument to keep on the beat Tala. The upper left hand carries a flame while the main left hand is held in Dola Hasta and connects with the Abhaya Hasta of the right hand. His hair locks fly on the both sides, touching the circular Jwala Mala or the garland of flames, which surrounds the entire dancing figuration. Okay. The wide range of Shiva iconography was evolved in the Tanjore region of Tamil Nadu. The 9th century Kalyana Sundara Murti is highly remarkable for the manner in which Panigrahana, ceremony of marriage, is represented by two separate statues. Shiva with his extended right hand accepts Parvati's, the bride's right hand, who is depicted with a bashful expression and taking a step forward. The union of Shiva and Parvati is a very ingeniously represented in the Ardhanarishwara Murti in a single image. Beautiful independent figurines of Parvati have also been modeled, standing in graceful Tribhanga posture. During the 16th century, known as the Vijayanagara period in Andhra Pradesh, the sculptors experimented with portrait sculpture in order to preserve knowledge of the royal patron for posterity. At Tirupati, this life-size standing portrait statues were cast in bronze, depicting Krishna Devaraya with his two queens, Tirumalamba, and Chinna Devi. The sculpture has combined the likeness of the facial features with certain elements of idealization. The idealization is further observed in the manner the physical body is modeled to appear imposing as well as graceful. The standing king and queens are depicted in praying posture, that is, both hands held in the Namaskara Mudra. Okay. So we have completed chapter 7. In the next video, we will discuss chapter 8, some aspects of Indo-Islamic architecture. Thank you so much for listening me. We'll see you in next video. Thank you very much. Bye.